Hey guys, it's Christina. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Christina and I like to cook. And what I love more than cooking is sharing some of the food that I cooked this week with all of you to provide some food inspiration, especially I cook plant-based and I love sharing that plant-based can be easy, delicious, and just super satisfying. So if that sounds like something that you guys like, stick around because I absolutely love some of the food that I cooked this week, starting with these nachos. So I don't know about you, but nachos are one of my favorite snacks, and as an adult, I love knowing that I can actually just make nachos my dinner anytime I want. So that's what I did one day this week with a friend. I got some blue corn tortilla chips, some chow cheese vegan shreds, and just kind of went to town. My protein of choice for these nachos was black beans, but refried beans would work as well. I also kept it a little spicy with some jalapenos and like hot salsa. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know what a good serving size of nachos is. I got a little carried away here. I was having such a good time layering that I kind of just was getting to the top of my pan, and my friend was like, can we eat all this?" The answer is yeah, we did. We could, and we did. It was delicious. After the nachos came out of the oven, I topped with some salsa verde. Like I said, chowed down. For dessert that night, I actually had some leftover cookie dough that I had made Christmas Eve. This is Nikki Vegan's pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. One of the easiest cookie dough recipes ever. I'll link it below for you guys. Highly recommend. I'd have made a bunch of them Christmas Eve, but I had some leftover dough left that I wasn't sure if I wanted to do like a cookie skillet thing with, but I ended up not doing that and I just baked more cookies. But this is what they look like when they are done. I actually messed up the recipe, and that's why they're kind of like extra fluffy. I actually added way too much baking powder. I mixed up my tablespoon and a teaspoon measurements, but that's why this channel is called Christina Likes to Cook and not Christina Likes to Bake, because I'm not good at baking or measuring. I just really like adding things to a pan or a pot or a blender, as you can see here, and just doing stuff till it looks good. And that's what we're doing here. I made this kale pesto thing that I've been loving recently. It kind of hurts calling it pesto because it really isn't pesto, because there's really no there's no pine nuts, there's nutritional yeast that gives it like a cheesiness that like Parmesan would normally add to a pesto. It's kale, not basil. So yeah, I have a hard time calling it a pesto, but the inspiration of it is pesto. It's pesto inspired kale spread, I would say. But anyway, I've been loving making that because I usually buy a big thing of kale, and by the end of the bag, I don't know what to do with it. So I just like blending it all up into this delicious spread. And if you watched my last video, I put that on toast, and that inspired me to actually put it on a flatbread this week since I had leftover vegan cheese. I was like, a flatbread pizza sounds pretty good. I don't usually buy vegan cheese, so when I do have a bag of vegan shreds in the house, I really like to make some fun recipes nachos or this flatbread. So this is what it looked like when it came out of the oven. It doesn't really look like the cheese melted on the camera, but I will say it got pretty melty. It was more melty in person. I'll also say the chow cheese is actually quite tasty, not melted. So it's actually not too big of a deal. It tastes good raw, which is or I should say not raw, but not baked, which is unusual for vegan cheese. But yeah, this is what my flatbread looked like. I served it with a sweet potato that I had just cooked in my air fryer and topped with some balsamic glaze and red pepper flakes and enjoyed. So bear with me if this video seems random and confusing. I was struggling finding the energy to film cooking this night. I think it was a Friday night or something, and I just wanted to kind of cook and unwind, but I also wanted to show you guys this recipe, so I kind of filmed half of it but didn't film too much. But basically, I'm making Korean rice cakes, also known as tteokbokki. I have a really hard time saying it. Tteokbokki. It's I know how you're supposed to say it, but then my mouth doesn't do it. But anyway, I started off making this by kind of preparing a broth of vegetable stock, some dried mushrooms, and a nori sheet, and then I added 3 tablespoons of gochujang, some gochugaru, and soy sauce, and then I added my rice cakes. If you've never seen these before, how do I describe them? Chewy goodness. They come like in these little tubular forms, and yeah, they're just made of rice, and they're quite like dense and hard when you first start cooking them, but then they plump up and get soft and chewy and absorb whatever you put in them, which in this case is this delicious spicy gochujang sauce. And it takes all of like 15 minutes, so it's a really like quick and easy meal. I just added some soft tofu into it, and that was my Friday night dinner. And I had some soft tofu left if you saw on my cutting board. So what I decided to do the next night for dinner was turn it into a pasta sauce. If you've watched my channel at all, you know I am a sucker for a good pasta sauce. So what I did is I added that soft tofu to my kale pesto inspired thing, got it into that creamy looking consistency, added it to some fettuccine, topped with some crispy chickpeas, and then also added additional nutritional yeast, balsamic glaze, and red pepper flakes. And this was so good. Oh my God. Like, I outdid myself with this one. So good. Here's another clip of me being like, I want to show you guys what I'm cooking because like I'm doing some cool stuff this week, but I also don't have time to film. So I started half filming this and then like didn't finish. But what this is going to be is it's just going to be some simple curried lentils. I start off with an onion and garlic base, add a can of diced tomatoes, as well as a can of coconut milk and a bunch of curry powder. And it just makes this delicious like stock sauce curry thing that is perfect for simmering lentils in. I chose yellow lentils. You might have to add some water as time goes on so it doesn't evaporate too much. But yeah, I forgot to actually film me adding the lentils and cooking the lentils and showing you what the lentils looked like when they were done. So bear with me. I have this video of this delicious looking sauce that the lentils go into, and then a picture of the lentils like a few days later. But yeah, so good. And then this is going to be one of my last dinner recipes of the video. It is some vegan naan bread. It's literally just coconut yogurt, flour, salt, baking powder, roll out, let rest for a bit, or I should say rest for a bit, then roll out and then just cook it on a pan. I made mine a little bit too thick at first because I didn't realize, like, I don't know, I thought they were going to shrink for some reason, which doesn't make any sense. Again, I don't bake, so, like, I don't even know what I'm saying. But then my second batch, I made a little bit thinner and more like an actual naan bread density, I would say. But yeah, this was so tasty and so good. I served with a white bean dip that I just kind of did that thing again where I added a bunch of things into my food processor blender and made a delicious spread. But yeah, white beans and topped with some olive oil and cilantro, and it was so tasty. And yeah, I guess theme of this video is let's just add things to a blender because that's what I am doing in this too. I have one last recipe for you guys. It's not really a recipe. It's just a smoothie bowl. Vegan YouTube loves these. I love these. It's actually kind of like one of the only ways I ever eat fruit because I'm just not a huge fruit person. So what happens is like I don't eat fruit for like a week and then my body is like screaming at me to eat fruit and I'll make a smoothie bowl like this. But yeah, the smoothie bowl consisted of bananas, frozen strawberries, an acai packet, some vegan yogurt, and almond milk. And then I topped with apples, chia seed, peanut butter, some peanut butter cereal, and chocolate chips. And it was so delicious. I hope you guys are having a wonderful 2023 so far and enjoyed this video. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It means the world to me. I can't wait to keep sharing recipes with you in 2023, and I'll see you later. Bye.